Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Capital City News, your connection to Salt Lake City government. I'm your host, Poonam Kumar. Let's get started with our legislative update and look back.
And whereas Salt Lake City's craft beer community has grown to become a creative and flourishing industry, playing an important role in tourism and breaking Utah stereotypes one beer at a time,
I think the one big message that I want to reinforce is that the craft beer industry in Utah really benefits all of Utah, all Utahns across the state. From St. George to Vernal to Ogden to Moab, there are craft breweries in Utah and the industry is thriving.
And now it's time for a History Minute.
Born in England to impoverished parents in 1832, Charles Roscoe Savage would grow up to become one of the most iconic photographers of the Salt Lake City experience in its early days. After converting to Mormonism at age 15, serving a mission in Switzerland, and returning to England, he eventually set out for Utah in 1856. Over the years, he moved further and further west, taking photographs professionally to slowly pay his way, taking pictures of the arduous trip the whole time. By 1860, he finally made it to Salt Lake, and by 1861, he placed an ad in the Deseret News announcing the opening of his new photography business. By 1866, his work was being published in papers across the country as woodcut copies, and the railroads sold collections of his stereoscopic views of the western landscapes and trains. One of the most iconic photographs he took was the driving of the Golden Spike at Promontory, Utah, when the Transcontinental Railroad was joined together. The other most iconic photograph he took was a portrait of Brigham Young. Unfortunately, not many of Savage's photographs exist. His studio burned to the ground in 1883 after a fire at the residence of H.B. Clausen on South Temple and Main Street spread. Savage estimated that he lost $12,000 worth of equipment and the irreplaceable loss of his negative collection, so few of his images prior to that time survived. He stayed in Salt Lake City and reestablished his photography business on Main Street until he retired in 1906. He passed away just 3 years later.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Capital City News. We hope you tune in next time to stay up to date on all the latest. For SLCtv, I'm Poonam Kumar, signing off from the historic City and County Building.